Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and it seems though Newcastle United aren't getting taken over anytime soon. Last week the consortium aiming to buy the Magpies withdrew their offer, with the main reason being the fact that the Premier League were taking forever to make a decision. So for now the deal is off, which is devastating news for Toon fans, but also bad news for Football Manager fans who couldn't wait to use Newcastle on the game next year. Well, a while ago I downloaded a new database that implemented the Takeover for Newcastle on Football Manager 2020 and decided to go 4 years into the future to see how the Takeover had affected them. But since the deal wasn't done, I didn't want to do a video on the Newcastle Takeover in case I jinxed the whole thing. Turns out I didn't need to jinx it. But since we've kind of had a resolution now, I thought it was time to check out what happened in the simulation, see who they signed, what they won, and give Newcastle fans a glimpse of what might have been. Well, first things first, the Takeover hasn't delivered the Premier League title yet, and it hasn't even delivered Champions League football by 2024, and to make matters worse, they haven't even won a trophy. The money invested is huge, but the highest they've finished so far is 5th in 2024, which at least gets them into the Europa League. So we've had no trophies and we haven't even got a marquee manager. Steve Bruce stayed in charge until December 2021 when he eventually got the sack from Amanda Staveley and co. In his place wasn't Benitez or Pochettino, in fact it was Valencia boss Marcelino, who is still there now and is in his 3rd season. While he hasn't won anything, the club are clearly on the up and building to something, which is why they're sticking with the Spaniard. But while there haven't been many manager changes, the turnover for players is ridiculous. Here's a quick breakdown of how much has been spent each year. So no one was signed in the first season, then in the 2020-21 season, Newcastle spent £401 million on players. The season after it was down to £370 million, then they broke their record again the year after with £450 million spent. They didn't stop there though, screw you financial fair play, as in 2023-24 the Magpies spent a ridiculous £461 million on just 8 players. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through each season and have a look at the transfer business. As you can see here, the first season 2019-20, no players were signed but a few did leave. Jack Colback was sold to Bristol City, Matt Ritchie went out on loan, Fernandez sold and John Joe Shelby sold. So, I mean that's some quite big players. We'll go into the first season where money was spent. There you go, £401 million spent. Incoming came £55 million. They sold Dwight Gale for £2.5 million. Kraft went for £7 million. Ritchie stole at Standard Liège for £4.5 million. Henri Saivet, they finally got rid of him. Joe Linton didn't persevere, got rid of him. Nikola Katic, had they just signed him? Have a look over here. Yeah, so they signed Katic in July for £15 million and they sold him a few months later for £10 million. What a stupid idea, Christ. Money makes people crazy. They sold Yedlin, Isaac Hayden and Paul Dummett, all for the grand total of £55 million. Absolute pocket change to the Saudis. Incomings, they made Nabil Bentaleb permanent for £8.5 million. Crap. Then this is where it really started. Leon Bailey, £80 million, Newcastle's new record signing, and as you click on him here, he's already gone. How long did he spend? He spent 3 seasons, did absolutely nothing, waste of money. Doesn't matter, they've got it to waste. Obviously Katic came in, don't know who Jonas Wind is. Ben Chilwell, he's still there. He's the captain now, getting better year after year, £67 million. Neil Maupay came in, Bukayo Saka, Max Aarons, £73 million on Max Aarons, Christ. It got to a point where it just seemed like they were signing players for the sake of it. Wesley Hoot from Southampton, done nothing. Dejan Lovren, James Milner, Jan Bednarek. I mean, Milner's great, but I mean, is there any point at his age? Troy Deeney came in. How did he do? He's playing for Deportivo now. He's gone to Spain. 22 appearances for Newcastle, 5 goals. Sold already. Pointless. So that was the first season. Let's go on to year 2 where they spent £370 million. The most they spent on a player was £47 million on Nori Micheli and Kagla Soyuncu, obviously prioritising the defence. Any other big names arrived? Cancelo, that's pretty big, £30 million. Romario Barrow, he's decent on Footy Manager. Lindelof on loan. Obviously they dialed it down for the second year. Players going out, got rid of Jacob Murphy. Troy Deeney, you can see, got rid of him straight away. Manquillo went, Muto went. Sean Longstaff, they only got £8 million for him. God, it's as if they just wanted to get rid of... I mean, I'll tell you now, there is only one Newcastle player in the team who is still coming out of the club, and that's Freddie Woodman. I mean, Sean Longstaff's meant to be decent. Fabian Schär went out on loan. Mario Rui, he just arrived the year before, he's gone. Dejan Lovren went out on loan. Hoot went out on loan. Almiron, they got rid of him on loan. It's practically a whole new club. Next year, £65 million on Adam Idah from Norwich. £69 million on Eduardo Camavinga. I mean, that's a fair enough price because he's going to be an absolutely incredible player. 21 years old. Completed 2 seasons with the club and he's been fantastic. I think he might be the captain now. No, sorry, vice captain. He's the vice captain already at 21 years old. That's some going. £94 million on Vinicius Jr. Has he done any? Yeah, that is pretty good going. 15 goals in his first season, 16 in his next. That's pretty good. We'll give him that. 50 million on Chukwueze, still there. Not really doing that. He's doing okay. Alessandro Bastoni, £74 million. Big investment on the defence. Looks to be worth it. Really good. And a man called Brian Harries. Is he? I'm gonna guess he's a regen. He's a regen. He's Colombian. Nice. Look at the players sold. Neil Maupay went. Dubravka went. Shaw went. Bentleb went. Bailey went for a quarter of the price they bought him for. They just don't care. Matty Longstaff, only 500 grand. I've seen him go for loads on another simulation. Only playing for Bristol City. That is disappointing. Milner went. Darlow. I'm surprised Darlow was still there, to be honest. Charlie Masonda. Don't remember them signing Charlie Masonda, but he's gone anyway. And then the next season, £461 million spent on just 8 players. Marco Asensio also arrived on a free. He's gone now. Got him on a free 1 year. Did really well. Then they sold him for £20 million. Genius. So we'll have a look here. I mean, the one that sticks out. Mason Greenwood, £226 million. Newcastle's number 9, £325,000 a week. 22 years old. Just completed his first season, 22 goals and 37 appearances. That's what Newcastle wanted from Joe Linton. I mean, granted he only cost 40 million, not 226, but still, you know. What else we got? Anthony, £96 million, pocket change. Victor Puerto, 48.5, don't know who he is, he's a regen. Don't know anything about him, might be crap. Gravenberch, only 30 million, that's a good signing. And a bit of a bargain. Hasn't done that well, never mind. Who else we got? Ansu Fati, just less than 40 million. That is very good going, 200 grand a week. Again, done crap, probably not getting a game. Look at the players sold. Almiron's gone, St. Maximan's gone. Anyway, Mohammed Al Hamdan, is that a Saudi Arabian player? It is, they had a Saudi Arabian player. Didn't even play a single minute for Newcastle. Nobody knows the owner. And we'll go into the new season. Obviously this transfer window is still ongoing. They've spent £70 million on 4 players. Dominic Livakovic, goalkeeper, he's the new number 1. He is good, to be fair. Someone called Ramon. Couldn't tell you a thing about him. Christopher Nurse, another regen. And Everton Luis Correa, a regen. Just a bunch of kids. Cancelo's gone to Wolves. Wow, there you go, Asensio to Shakhtar Donetsk for £25 million going up to. I mean, you can just see it's all blue. It's all money going out. Not a lot coming in. I mean, they've brought in more this season, £117 million to 70 spent. Fabio Silva, who's Fabio Silva? Portuguese striker. I must have missed them signing him. Christ, they spent £76 million and I've missed it. Oh, and they sold him for 64. They haven't. Christ, forget about this whole takeover thing. Brighton have spent £64 million on a footballer. That's absolute madness. Anyway, have a look here. This is the current squad. So in the last game they had Fernando Pacheco in goal, Max Aarons at right back, Carlos Soyuncu and Alessandro Bastoni centre backs, and Ben Chilwell left back. He's the captain, as we said. Anthony on the right. Luka Ivanusek, whoever he is he real? He is, apparently. I haven't heard of him, but he's real. He only cost £28.5 million. Interesting. He's alongside Camavinga, and then Vinicius Jr. on the left. Then up top, Samuel Chukwueze and Mason Greenwood, who's unhappy. What's he unhappy about? Wants to leave to play Champions League football. Christ, I mean, how much is he going to go for if they've signed for £226 million? Only spent 1 year and he's unhappy. I mean, just look at the bench. Ruben Blanco, he's worth a lot. Nodi Michele, Romario Barro, Adam Ida, Bukayo Saka. God, and there you go, there's Freddie Woodman. The only player that stayed with the club through the whole thing, and he's on the transfer list. £1.75 million. Doesn't have a long-term future. Probably just keep him because he's homegrown. That's what I do on my Football Manager. Wow. Oh, I mean, that's a totally new squad pretty much, and they still haven't won anything. Wow. I mean, at least they're on the up though. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave it there for today, but I'm going to simulate this another 4 years into the future, and next time we'll bring you another video, we'll see how they're getting on in the year 2028. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, like it, share it, subscribe to Elecspo, all the good stuff. But until next time, we will see you around.